What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today you better get your pen and pad ready because today I'm talking about the best of the best. I'm talking about the best transfers, the best blank t-shirts, the best vinyl to use, the best equipment to buy. Now I'm just messing around, but why does everybody focus on what's the best? What you need to focus on is what's the best for you, and that's what we're talking about today. It's weird because I get a lot of comments every single day, and it'll be like, what's the best blank t-shirt to buy? Or which is better, this company or this company? Which transfer's better, this one or this one? Why do you only talk about these transfers and not about this one? Are those two better than the others? What's better, Cricut or Cameo? Is the heat press you have the best? Which is better, swing away or pull out drawer? And these questions are always crazy to me. Instead of asking what the best is, you need to be focusing on what's the best for you. What works the best for you? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But 90% of you guys out there don't want to hear that. You just want somebody like myself or another content creator to just answer the question. And I get that, but that's also giving you horrible advice. It's like if you came to me and you said, I want to use the same mechanic that you use. Who's your mechanic? And I say, oh man, I got the best mechanic in the world. His name's blah, blah, blah. This is where his shop's at. Now that seems like a normal, easy conversation, right? But you never told me that you drive a Prius. And I never told you that my best mechanic in the world only works on Cadillacs. That was never discussed, right? I gave you the best mechanic I know, which is my Cadillac mechanic. All you did was ask me for a mechanic. You wanted to use the same one I use. So you drive your Prius to my homeboy. He looks at your Prius and says, nah, there's nothing I can do for you. I can't work on that car. And now you come back to me and you hit me up and say, man, your mechanic's whack. He didn't even do nothing for me. He said he can't work on my car. Your mechanic's trash. Well, you never gave me the details. I never gave you the details because you didn't ask. So who's in the wrong? Am I in the wrong for sharing the information with you that you asked for? Or are you in the wrong because you didn't do your own research on the mechanic I gave you and you're just going based on my recommendation? See what I mean? As a business owner, brand owner, yourself, us content creators give you recommendations all day long. It's up to you to do a little bit more research to make sure it fits whatever you're doing. So when you ask me what's the best transfer company, and I tell you the transfer companies that I use, I could say Transfer Express and Supacolor, and you go back and you order from Transfer Express and Supacolor, and then you figure out you can't lay those transfers down. You're having issues with the transfers. You don't like the feel of the transfer. You just asked me what I thought the best was, and that's what works best for me. That's the information that I'm sharing with you. So as the brand owner, you should just order sample packs from them and then test them out and see if it works for you. But what a lot of people do is they go based off of somebody's recommendation and they just order up, place a big order, spend their money before they test the stuff out, and then figure out they don't like the way something feels. They don't like the way something lays down, or they can't lay them down at all. So that's my problem? That's my fault? No, that's your fault. You didn't do your own research. You were just going based off of my recommendation. I'm giving you the information that works best for me. You need to figure out what works best for you. See how that works? Same goes for blank t-shirts. When people ask me what's the best blank t-shirt, I'm telling you what works best for me. I tell you I use Pro Club. Then you find out that Pro Club's a super heavyweight t-shirt and that's not exactly what you were looking for. Now you're mad at me because you ordered 5 dozen Pro Club t-shirts and your customers don't like it? No, that's not my fault. I'm giving you what works best for me. When it comes to the best of the best, what's better, what's whatever, that's what I'm giving you. The information I'm sharing with you is what works for myself. So to answer the question in whole, there's no best, there's no better, there's no none of that stuff. As a business owner, you're in a privileged position. You have all of these companies at your fingertips right here. If you just Google search Plastisol Transfers and every single company that comes up, you have the ability to use any of those companies. Look at every single company, find out pricing, order samples from them, find out what their turnaround times are, what their minimums are, ink formulas they offer, services they offer. All of this stuff is things that I've done for myself to figure out what works best for me. There's millions of companies out there. I don't use all million of those companies. I only use a handful of them because those are the ones I found out to work best for myself. So you got to do the same exact thing. Blank t-shirts, heat presses, embroidery machines, blank hats, hoodies, t-shirts, transfers, vinyl, all of that stuff. Do your own research when it comes to this stuff, so that way you make a better educated decision. You're not wasting money and you're not wasting time. It's like if we use transfer companies as an example. If you took Supacolor and Transfer Express, with those two companies you could run all of your jobs off of those two companies easy. No matter where you are in the country, you could order transfers from both of those companies and be perfectly fine. Multicolors covered, single colors covered, gang sheets covered, neck labels covered. Doesn't matter what you press on, if you're pressing on polyester, hats, bags, doesn't matter. Those two companies cover everything for you. Easy. And I could tell anybody that. And then somebody will come back and say, well, what do you think about this company? I'm giving you the two companies that I use. And then you come back and you ask me about some other random company. How does that help? How does that help the situation at all? Obviously, you're looking at that other company and you compared the prices or whatever it is, and now you're just looking for validation. But if I'm giving you two companies, what you asked for, and then your response to me is, well, what do you think about this other company? I can't help you at that point. I'm telling you exactly what I use and how I use it. I show it in these videos. And if you don't agree with what I say, that's fine. But you have to be able to do your own research on this stuff. Figure it all out. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, is just you and your business and what you want to offer your customers. I tell people all the time, I use All Style and Pro Club t-shirts. Say, well, what do you think about this company? I don't know. I don't use them. I use All Style and Pro Club. That's what I'm telling you. When it comes to hats, I use Decky, Otto, Yupong. Well, what do you think about this other company? I don't know. I don't use them. I'm telling you exactly what I use, so that way you don't have to ask me about some other company. I'm telling you exactly what I use. It's crazy, but it happens all the time, man. There's no best of the best. Remember, you have to figure out what works best for you. That's all it is. You hear the content creators say it, like myself, anybody else. We're giving you recommendations. You do your own research and your own homework on these recommendations to see if it works for you. But this is a conversation nobody wants to have, man. Nobody ever wants to talk about this kind of stuff because everybody else just wants the straight answer. This is the best this to use. This is the best this to use. I don't do that because I don't want to waste nobody's money. I've seen it done before, and I've seen people go through some crazy stuff before, going based off of somebody else's recommendation because quote unquote that was the best, and then found out it wasn't the best for them and they lost money. Personally, I'm not in the position to make people lose money or waste time. I'd rather give you an honest answer and say this is what works for me, this is why I'm recommending this, but do your own research and figure out certain things. Don't just jump in and place a big order. If I tell you about a certain blank t-shirt like the All Style 1701, that's the one that I use, order one, buy one at retail cost and see if you actually like it before you buy a bunch of them. What if you don't like it? What if you don't like the cut? What if you don't like the feel? What if you don't like the collar or the color options? Any of that. In the business, it's called research and development. All you're doing is your own research, figuring out what's going to work best for yourself and your business. Remember, there's no best of nothing. Nothing's the best. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what none of these transfer companies say. I don't care what none of these heat press companies say. Ain't none of them the best. The only best is what works best for you. And that's it. And if any of you companies got an issue with that, come see me. I'll say it to your face too, because it doesn't matter. Like, you could claim that it's the best and blah, 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 but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the end user. I know it, you know it, they all know it. You could see in any of my videos the stuff that I use. I use a Heat Press Nation Signature Pro Heat Press, 15 by 15. It's the auto open with the slide out drawer and it has the sure pressure knob. I also have a Ricoma 15 by 15 heat press. Auto open, slide out drawer with a digital touchscreen. I also have a Hotronix Press, 16 by 20. I have a Heat Press Nation Signature Pro cap press. I have a Ricoma embroidery machine, MT1501, 15 needles, single head machine. I have a Cameo cutter right here. I think it's the Cameo Plus. And I also have a Cameo Pro. I use All Style t-shirts, 1701 and 1301. I use Pro Club Heavyweight, and if I can't find All Style 1301, I use Pro Club Comfort as my backup. And my backup for the All Style 1701 is usually the next level 1800. But I rarely have issues finding All Style 1701s. I use Gildan hoodies, Pro Club hoodies. I use Decky, Otto, and Yupong hats. I use Transfer Express hot split transfers, and I use Supacolor Transfers, and I use EconoTransfer heat transfer vinyl. That's where I use my puff, reflective, carbon fiber, specialty stuff, and just standard heat transfer vinyl. All comes from EconoTransfer. And I use Oracle decal vinyl. That's everything that I use here. Oh, sublimation. I use a Sawgrass SG500. I don't really sublimate too much. I do socks and mugs, but that's it. My mug press is a Heat Press Nation mug press. So now that you know everything, that's the best of the best to buy. I got the links for everything in the description box, but at the same exact time, that's what works best for me. All of this stuff that I just mentioned, will that be the best for you? Maybe, maybe not. That's what works best for me. That's how I operate. That's what I use. You need to figure out what's going to be best for you also. Formulate your own list. I leave links in the description box. I have affiliate accounts in there, but I also leave links there for you to do your own research and information, compare prices. I want people to read up on this stuff to make a better educated decision. Making some of these purchases they come with big price tags. So before you click buy, compare it to a few other things and see what's going to be the best purchase for you. I know this video absolutely helped nobody out there. I'm pretty sure a lot of people clicked off the video at the very beginning when I was gassing it up like I'm gonna tell you the best of everything, but I gave you guys everything that I use in my own business. That's what works best for me. So there it is. That's the best of the best, alright? If you got any questions, leave it in the comments. Shout out to the homie Jerry for this dope t-shirt right here. Dope graphic designer. Dope dude all around. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.